Hey, hey, hey.
Howdy.
What's going on?
Um, right now I'm trying to see why I do not see video on YouTube. Oh, I see what it is. Yeah. Sorry, I was feedback. For whatever reason, my computer's acting has Tourette's. I apologize. I've got it working now.
Okay, before we get started, I've kind of got a little secretarial work I need to get done. So,
Okay.
and I've been waiting a whole year, very patiently, and I still don't have my answer.
Okay.
Anyone have any update on Cocaine Gate?
Well, I think we already figured that one out, dude.
No, I mean, but Dan Bongino promised us that we would get the Epstein files, Cocaine Gate, we get the January 6th bomber, and all that.
Bruh, we ain't gonna see shit. You want me
Hey,
to tell you
And
why?
I think Epstein is going to be just like Kennedy. Maybe in about 100 years, somebody will release something that's totally redacted.
you think they're going to remember that in 100 years?
Oh, this digitally. Yeah, there. Yeah, yeah. There's
It's
digital
forever.
archives of all that shit.
But Cocaine Gate, that's the one that I want an answer to. And I'm not letting go until I get an answer.
That's perfectly fine. I just don't hold your breath because we're gonna be going to your funeral.
And I mean, and Dan Bongino said, he was going to get to the bottom of it. He was going,
Right? But
put the handcuffs on people and,
notice Dan
we're going to see
Bongino
mug
is no longer with
shots.
the FBI, though.
Yeah, he resigned and now he's
There's a
starting to come
reason.
back and all that.
We can get into all that a little bit later, but there's a reason why he bailed. So let's get the boilerplate shit out of the way first. Anything we say on here is for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. Yeah, it's kind of like when you were in school and you had teachers that actually gave a fuck and you had to actually go and look shit up old school and figure it out for yourself instead of them handing you the answers because they just want to pass you. Yeah, go do your own research to verify. So if we say something on here, do your own research, verify for yourselves. We are three like minded individuals on here that are basically discussing whatever's on our mind at that particular time, and it's us having discourse. You can be part of the conversation, or you can get pissed off. If you get pissed off, you know where the door is. Don't let it hit you on the ass. We're not here to be your friend. We're here to tell you what we feel and discuss our views, and that's it. So if you're easily offended, you need to step the fuck off now. How's that? Anybody like to add to that?
No.
Uh, no, I think that about covered it.
Okay. All right. Um, in closing, real fast, I'd like to thank Vanguard as always for helping provide this for us. We couldn't do it without you, brother, and we truly appreciate all you do to make this possible. We wish you could be alive with us. I know you've got other responsibilities, but we do miss having you on here with us. You're a key part of the whole movement and organization. We wish you were here. We miss having you on here with us. To go through the title, as everybody can see, Darwin's Driving Academy. I'd like to just briefly explain that. Anybody who's not lived under a rock or been on like another planet should know that we had the incident up in Minnesota, Tampon Tim's backyard, and we had a person who was confused. Well, I'm gonna say one of the gender confused decided that it was a good idea to harass ICE officers doing their lawful duty.
Why
And
does someone want to harass an icy machine repairman?
do
I
what?
love, I love
Why does
ICs.
someone want to harass an icy machine repairman?
Well, as I said, they decided they wanted to drop the kid off at, which we'll get into that whole background in a minute, drop the kid off at daycare and then go fuck with federal officers. She decided she wanted to see if she could win a Darwin Award using her Honda Pilot as a, I'm not going to say a battering ram, I'm going to say more as a steamroller.
I'd call it a blocker.
Well, no, she tried to run over.
Well, she
So
thought it was, you know, rainbow and bulletproof and all that. So she
I don't
thought
know.
she was safe.
And I guess they thought that the bullets were rubber, but she quickly discovered that the sidearms work very well, especially close range. I hope the dog's okay because the dog was the innocent victim in all this.
I've been worried about that dog.
I mean, he had to be thinking to himself, or she, like, how the fuck did I get these two for my masters?
I just hope they got a really good counselor for that dog because that dog went through something very traumatic.
Well,
And loud too. I mean,
yeah. Well, did anybody see the? I mean, you know, they're trying to make this idiot out to make some patron. I guess you make her the patron saint of what?
I
FAFO?
would say FAFO or the poster child for it at least.
Okay, we're gonna say she's the patron saint of FAFO because she was sitting there, just thought it was hilarious, talking shit, grinning, and everything else. And somewhere in her misfiring synapses, she said, "Oh, I would have given some of that." And I decided she was going to gun the vehicle because I don't even know what you want to call her, significant other.
Partner. We'll just say her dumber half.
Well,
Oh.
call her Bubba Rex. So Bubba Rex was sitting there telling her, you know, punch it, you know, go on, do this, do that. And it's like, you're an idiot. You know, you're encouraging her to commit a felony by getting her to, whether she's trying to run over an agent or not,
Well,
she's
she's
moving in the
already,
general
at
direction.
that point, she was already in violation for disobeying a police order.
Well, yeah, but I mean, is
So,
that a felony though, or is that a misdemeanor?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up in Minnesota.
I don't know because you know when it said drive, and then you know shots were fired. Oh, I just got my wife killed. You're kind of admitting to it.
Yeah, and see, we'll get into something that I kind of thought about later, but she was already right off the bat. She had been following them around for I think 2 days, wasn't it?
Well, I know she's been doing it that whole day, and she just dropped her kid off at daycare so her and Bubba Rex could come down there and do that.
And so they'd been, you know, and then they were obstructing law enforcement. So it's obstruction of justice charge right there for blocking that road. So we're looking at, all right, so let's go ahead and start it. Obstruction, disobeying a police order, trying to aggravated assault with a vehicle, I guess. You know, maybe second degree attempted. I mean, yeah.
There's a lot of different charges. I mean,
one. I mean, I could write the report right now, and trust me, she'd get convicted. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue this one. And everybody wants to go, oh, well, he just barely hit the police. It doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. If she would have drove away and her side mirror hits that police officer, guess what?
I mean, you can see what she was doing. She figured they'd jump out of her way. She had no, I mean, she did exactly what she was trying to do. And she kind of, you know, got what look, let me make something perfectly clear. Somebody dying is tragic when it could have been avoided. But
it could have been very much avoided.
But the point being, this was self-inflicted.
And her and her damn girlfriend or whatever it was think that you argue it out on the side of the road. No, you don't. You go to court and do that. That's why you go to court. So people need to kind of understand how the judicial system works in our country. First, you get charged with the crime, and they're going to have to arrest you and take you to jail, and then fingerprint you and take your picture and all that. Then you have to get bonded out or bail out of jail or just walk out if it's no bond.
Here's the thing, brother. Who's going to arrest you? Who's going to arrest any of those people? Because the problem is, they're arresting him in Tampon Tim's backyard. He's not going to prosecute him.
Well, they were about to arrest her. I can tell you that right now.
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying if they arrest them and take them to lockup, the judges are not going to see it through. The prosecutor's not going to see it through. They're going to fucking release them out the back door, just like they did in fucking Oregon and damn Washington State and New York City. It's the same. Every blue shithole does this. The feds will come in. Chicago did the same thing. You arrest all these fuckers, you take them to lockup, and they turn right around and let them right back out because they're not enforcing the law. And they don't want to do their job because it goes against what they're trying to do.
Yeah, it pisses off all their voters.
Well, yeah, but apparently the voters don't give two greasy shits because they keep reelecting these fuckers.
Oh yeah, I mean it's northern states. So
Chiroc's a piece of shit. New York City's a piece of shit. Unfortunately,
Michigan and Minnesota
fucked up. Every city in California's fucked. Seattle's fucked. I mean, the list goes on and on. Detroit, any city that's predominantly a blue shithole, it's ruined.
But you notice how that the whole Minnesota Somali thing was really gaining traction there right up until that happened.
Yep. And now all of a sudden you don't hardly hear nothing about it.
No.
Oh, it's
I mean, I'm sure it's there.
From what I'm hearing, he's about to blow it open even bigger.
No, I hope so.
Well, I'm hearing it's not just in that state. There's a lot of that crooked shit.
Multiple states nationwide. I mean, which I need to talk to y'all after the show about opening a daycare. We'll talk offline about it.
Little business talk.
Oh.
Yeah.
I get our business model set up to get that loan from the Fed.
That's right.
Okay. Well, let's dive a little bit deeper into this heifer's background. Her and Bubba Rex, rather. She lost custody of one of her kids, right?
Oh, two of them.
She was custody of two of them. She's got one child she's got custody of. She's dropped it off of daycare.
Right, but she's got 3 kids, I thought.
Well, she may, but she had to make a choice between the other kid and Bubba Rex, and she chose Bubba Rex over the kid.
Yeah.
And wasn't Bubba Rex the one who was putting cigarettes out on the kids?
Yep. It was either Bubba
But yet
Rex or
these
her.
people are some kind of fucking martyr? Really?
Look, man.
Absolutely.
You don't understand. It's discipline. You know, I mean, these kids, you can't spank them anymore, so you got to burn them with cigarettes.
Well, I think I'd rather spank them than burn them with cigarette because spanking's not going to leave a mark.
Well,
I mean, if you want to be,
I agree with you, but
if you want to go that route, now, I don't give a fuck whether they say you can spank them or not. If it's my child, my grandchild, whatever, and you show out, I don't give a fuck. I'm standing over damn Walmart.
Yeah.
You're about to incur some wrath. I may be careful about how I do it, but you're fucked once I get out the vehicle. I'm tearing your ass out the frame. And it's not abuse. It's the old saying, spare the rod, spoil the child. I know I got my ass tanned when I deserved it, and you know what? It made me a better person for it. And I know every one of y'all did too.
Oh, yeah.
This permissive parenting bullshit? That's what's wrong with fucking society now. Everybody's got a damn safe space and can't. What the fuck? We've raised an entire generation of pussies. They get their feelings hurt if somebody damn calls them out and doing some dumb shit because they ain't got no sense.
Hoss, I'd rather go to jail than deal with my daddy. And I mean, I'm, still that way.
Right?
If a police officer stops me for something and it's a arrestable offense, and they just say, I'm just going to call your dad instead of take you to jail, I might haul off and not hit the cop just so he takes me to jail. Because
Right,
I'm
just
safer
take
in
me
that
to jail.
jailhouse than I am around my daddy.
I got you.
So, I mean, that's real talk there.
Well, but again, that's because you had a parent who raised you and was actually a parent. They weren't your friend. They weren't your buddy. They weren't a parent adjacent. They did their fucking job. Now, look, I understand raising children has its own set of challenges. And it's different for each and every individual. Nothing is the same from one household to the next. There's a variation. There's nothing to do about it. But as a parent, it's incumbent upon you to put on the big girl panties, swim in the deep water, and do the fucking heavy lifting. You help bring that child, that innocent life, into this world. It is your responsibility to do the heavy lifting with that child. I don't want to hear that bullshit about it takes a village. Fuck the village. The village is what's fucking wrong.
I think their village is a little fucked up anyway, but so I think I'd move villages.
Well, Vanguard makes a good point too. Public school don't help, or school influence. I'm having to deal with that with my grandchild. And now if you have an opinion, you gotta watch out how your kids are being taught, or whatever clique they're in, because they'll come back and start trying to tell you you're being racist or you're being a homophobe or this, that. No, I'm not. I just got fucking common sense, and this bullshit they're teaching you, or these people, this shit your friends are telling you is wrong. You see what I'm saying? There's only two genders. I don't give a shit what anybody says. There's only two. You either got internal plumbing, you either got indoor or outdoor. That's it. There's no other set. And you're not going to make me say there is.
Well, I could give you, I think, one of the main causes of why you see everything right now the way it is, if you want to delve into it.
Sure.
If you say participation trophies, I'm going to scream, finally, someone said it.
No, well, participation trophies are just a symptom of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look back, okay, let's go back in the Wayback Machine and go to the start of the radical feminist movement. Radical feminist movement. So they suffrage and all that. Okay, so now you have people having to work. We get women in the workplace, all this good stuff. Nothing wrong with that, other than the fact that it's expected. So now you've got mommy's at work, daddy's at work, kids in daycare, preschool, stuff like that. So before that even happened, you already had communists and socialists infiltrating your school system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not only colleges, but public school.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've got what, 3 or 4 generations of kids that have been brought up not by their parents, not by mommy, in the house with the kid, teaching their family values. You've got kids that have multiple generations of children that have been brought up with what Fat Bob the socialist teacher is spouting off to the kids. It's, oh, you don't like having a dick? Well, you don't have to have one of those things. You can just identify as something different. Um, no, my God, don't bring your kid to school after you've spanked them. They don't spank kids at school. And everything that we have had to endure for the last 30, 40, 50 years, it stems back from that, man.
I can see
Everything else is a symptom of not having
Well,
a nuclear family, a
that's
mommy
what
and a
that's what I
daddy,
was about to say.
you
When
know.
they took the daddy out of the home in the '60s, that really, did a blow to it. And then nowadays, and I mean, I'm not trying to defend what you're saying here, but nowadays you have to have two incomes to make it.
you
Well,
do.
you have to now, but that again is a symptom of what happened.
The
You've got,
groundwork was laid years ago, and we're
yeah,
seeing all this shit stems from that groundwork.
you used to be able, daddy could go out and work one job and afford a house and a car and groceries,
Vacations.
yeah, all of that shit.
Hmm.
But you stick two people in there, and this is, yeah, and I blame the government back then as well, because what happens when you have the other half of the populace working? They get to tax you more. Now they get to tax mommy and daddy. So it was a money making scheme for the government that has turned into a big failed social experiment.
Well, they like failed social experiments because it's never their fault.
No.
I mean, look at the scamdemic.
Oh yeah. I mean that's a perfect example of, I mean, shit, look up, Project Mockingbird and stuff like that. Your government does not love you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean the pandemic was a perfect excuse to let's do a case study and see if we can keep people in their houses. Yeah, we can, because they're stupid.
Well, you got to look at a couple different things here. We've been watching this kind of decay since the 70s. And at first, it was a slow decay. It was a little here, a little there. But by the end of the 90s, you were full bore into some dumb shit. And once, I'm going to say, once Obama took the presidency, you really saw things go off the rails at that point
Yep.
during his presidency because he's the one who voted in same sex marriage. Um, there's some other things he did. And he helped make things derisive. That's
Oh
what he
yeah.
wanted to do. And, there's so many different factors here that play into where we're at today. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't see how this can be corrected. I don't see how any of it can be. Well, let me put it this way: I don't see how it can be corrected, and us talk about it here.
No. Yeah. It can't.
I want to say something so bad right now, but I don't want to get us a strike.
No, we're going to play above board. Um, I don't need people in black government vehicles pulling up my house and drones and shit. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. But you can't fix it. I don't think it can be fixed in the current form.
No.
I think that you've got the sides polarized so bad that they no longer listen to discussion. It's all about beating their chest and arguing their point, whether they're on the right or the left. The independents, I mean, the independent vote, you don't know what you're getting there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to say I'm an independent conservative because I don't fully
I've been
agree with the Republican Party and the shit they're doing, but I sure as shit don't agree with the Democrats. But I feel like I'm more independent minded because of some of the things that the independents stand for, smaller government, et cetera, some different things like that. shrinking, or libertarian, I should say. I like some of their views, but the party system's broken, and really, you need to abolish the parties because they're part of the problem. If you got rid of the parties and you put term limits in, people can't hide behind the DNC and the RNC.
But
they have to run what
term
they're running
limits.
for.
Well, if you do term limits, how are they not going to get rich?
Do what
Yeah.
now?
Exactly.
If you do term limits, how are they not going to get rich?
I don't give a fuck if they get rich. They're a bunch of criminals anyway.
That's a perk of the job.
They should have to be on the same insurance that everybody else is. They should not get fucking pensions. They should not. I mean,
you heard what that guy from that has that only uses, I think, his right eye in Congress. You heard what he said in an interview.
You talking about Scam Shaw?
Yeah, that dude. Yeah, Popeye. You heard what he said in an interview about, trading stocks, didn't you?
No.
It was something like, well, how else do you expect us to make money?
I don't know. Do your fucking job.
You have, it's again, you've got a salary.
You're not supposed to be there to make money as a politician. You're supposed to be there to represent your constituents. It's not meant to be a fucking get rich quick thing. It was never designed for that. It was meant for you to go there part-time. I always think back to The Patriot. Everybody here seen The Patriot. Remember when Mel Gibson got called up to go to Charlestown? And that's how the government was supposed to be set up. You're called to you go represent who you're representing. You sit in there, you hammer it out, argue it out, and you're done. You go back home. You don't stay there. You don't have a secondary fucking home. You don't have a security detail. You don't have a fucking private plane. You don't have stock options. You go there, you represent your constituents, and you GTFO. That's it. Am I wrong?
No, it's
it was never meant to be a full-time job. It was supposed to be a part-time job, if that.
Right,
and
exactly.
Now they have not just turned it into a full-time job; they have turned it into damn near an economy. I mean, they get free medical for life. They get, oh God, retirement.
They get pensions. They depending on what branch of the service you get. I mean, you get multiple pensions depending on where you're at.
DC would collapse if you went back to the way it was supposed to be.
Good.
And I'm not. I'd say it's a good thing. But
the swamp would dry the fuck up.
Yeah.
If we can't do it, they shouldn't be able to do it.
But therein lies the problem. One of the problems is this republic you're never going to be able to change that. You will never be able to have these people say, okay, you know what? We're going to give up this power. We're going to give up this money. That part of the republic is gone.
Yep.
And that's it's an incredibly sad thing that we're living through a time where, I mean, if you got half a brain cell and you're looking at it, you can see that what was started as the great experiment is fucked. I don't know. You showed me that book the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree with that title because, therein lies the start of the federal government holding on to a bunch of other states for money.
Yep.
Nothing other than money.
That's all it was.
Oh, y'all saw where Minneapolis is suing the federal government for sending federal troops up there? That's what they're calling it.
How are they suing? On what grounds?
They're suing the federal government for sending ICE up there. And I can't remember what grounds it was, but anyway, I'm sitting here laughing my ass off because I'm going, about 60 years ago. You know, y'all did that to the South. Now you know how we feel, motherfucker.
See,
500.
here's the kicker. You know, Tampon Tim got up in front of the public and was stating you know back he never said Civil War, but it was implied.
Mhm.
Um, and he's, I think we're at that point again. So why is that motherfucker not in jail for seditious?
Because it's only against certain. This is a selective rule.
Oh, okay.
Look,
So
I'm
if you
with
got a
you.
set of balls, then you're gonna get tried
Well,
for it.
if you're not a Marxist, communist, homosexual, cross-dressing, whatever.
What we should have done, we should have sent Jay up there to stand behind him. And when he said that, have Jay start pointing and screaming and running away from him, going, "Look, he's a Republican now."
Oh, Jay's gonna get you. Um, the thing about it is that there's got to be truth to it, but what's happening is the real shit that needs to be getting out there is getting buried, and it's all by design. Because you see, Tampon Tim's not going to run for re-election because he knows he's fucked. So if he knows he's fucked, that tells you how deep this goes. He's
$9
trying
billion
to
of misappropriated funds. Yeah, I'd say he's done, dude.
But what I'm saying is there'll be no jail time. There'll be no seizure of assets. That's
Nope.
what pisses me off.
That was probably the whole way they got him out of the race. Was they said, you don't run for re-election, we don't, put you in the big house where you get to know what a woman feels like.
Well, I don't understand. Okay, let's take a sidestep here. I know we're way off in the weeds. Okay, you've got all the fuckery going on up there in Little Somalia, or New Somalia, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, the waterhead capital of the country.
Hang on, I am just keep your thought, T. Keep your thought, okay? But I am convinced now that Ilhan Omar, she left Somalia, married her brother, and came here. Yeah. And what she's trying to do is she got here and she said, you know what? There's no gunshots. There's no warlords. There's none of this. We need all that. And so that's what she's trying to recreate up there in Minnesota. I am convinced of it.
I don't think she's trying to do that because then she can make no money. But she's definitely trying to do as much illegal shit as she can. And the thing about it is, until I start seeing these fucking corrupt people getting locked up and perp walked on national TV, I don't believe any of it. No. Her ass should be deported and fucking locked up. All her shit seized, and all her fucking criminal ass relatives and cousins and house cleaners, whatever the fuck else she's got. Tampon Tim's ass needs to be in jail. The fucking Clintons need to be in jail. And look, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. If Trump did shit, they need to go after him. Now I don't think he did.
I just want to make it known.
Enough. Do what?
I just want to make it known for the purposes of this. Me and Sax, man, we have nothing toward ill toward the Clintons. We love the Clintons, don't we, Sax, man? It's T that hates them. T's the bad one here.
That's all right. That's all right. All I have to say is you motherfuckers better pack a lunch.
That's right.
So that being said, all these different people they've been caught and shit, and nothing's being done to them. Until I see them held to the same standard Blue Collar Bob gets held to, I don't want to fucking hear it because you're blowing smoke. You're pandering and you're posturing to get reelected. That's all you're fucking doing. Now, I kind of understand why we went into Venezuela a couple weeks ago and put boot to ass, although it seems to me that our commander-in-chief is kind of all over the place. Now, I don't know if he's just trying to get as many licks in as he can, or he's getting bad intel, or or what's going on, but it seems to me he's lost focus of what he was there to do. Now, I may be the bad guy here. I'm just playing devil's advocate. All right. I'd still vote for him tomorrow. Don't get me wrong. I still support our president, but I'm saying something has changed. Okay.
Well, he started hanging out with Lindsey Graham for starters.
Well, yeah, that's a big zero right there.
You know. But and right before we came on, you saw that Cuba scrambled their fighter jets, all two of them, to basically do patrols around Cuba because they think we're coming to invade. Because Trump apparently put out a deal on Truth Social, and I haven't physically seen the post, so y'all got to take my word for it. You know, I mean, I haven't gone to Trump's feed and physically read it. That's what I'm saying. I've seen a screenshot of it that someone had in a video. I paused it and read it, and it's the verbiage in it's almost identical to what he told Maduro right before we went in and snatched him and his wife out of there.
Well, okay, but he's fucking with Greenland,
and then the guy from Cuba fired back and said, basically, come on down here and fight. And I think his exact words were, "We will fight till the last drop of blood is left in our body."
Well, you heard about the U.S. use some new kind of technology going in after Maduro, right?
Yeah, but I hadn't been able to confirm that.
Well, it's not like DARPA's going to say, yeah, we just developed that and gave it to them.
I mean,
sonic weapons have been something that's been getting tinkered with for a while.
Oh, I mean, they did it to what's his name in Panama.
Did they use sonic weapons on him?
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
apparently they've revised the technology and upgraded it considerably, because that was how we were able to go in there and just snatch it, because whatever they used, yeah, it was very effective.
you don't think I could get my hands on that maybe for the weekend?
I mean, you could reach out to Hexeth and see if he hook you up, but I don't know. He might be kind of hesitant.
I'm pretty sure I could talk.
He might say, I just can't do that right now.
I'm pretty sure I could talk him into it.
Well, I mean, you can give him a call, see what he says.
Just call him and tell him, look, man, just come on down. We'll drink a few beers, have a good time, play with that new toy. Maybe make a few people violently ill, like my 4th grade math teacher and a couple other people. But yeah.
Well, I mean, it just shows that we've got, if we're using this new kind of technology on a weapon platform, what else do we have we don't know about? Because this is something they've been developing and honing for years. This is not something just dropped out of the sky.
Well, it's kind of like every other piece of technology that we have that we've actually used. It's probably been around for forever.
Yeah.
And now that it seems to work pretty good, so we'll throw it out there. I mean, it's kind of like, having, what was that, the F-111 and stuff like that, were around for the decade before any of us knew about it.
Yeah, like the triangle aircraft they've got now that we were being seen called UFOs 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
I forget what they call them now. They're T something. But the the whole thing is that what concerns me with this new technology, while it's all well and good, all it takes is one shitbag administration to get in there, just like when we had that stealth technology on the helicopters, and he left one there for him to fucking get.
Oh, yeah.
Bin Laden. Same thing can happen with this sonic technology, and once it gets in enemy hands, they can duplicate it. And apparently, from what I'm seeing, the other countries don't have. They might have similar technology, but they've not made the advancements we have.
I know one country that's got night vision and Apaches and Blackhawks and Humvees and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now China and Russia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So, but going back to this whole movement, we got these people like our Darwin winner for tonight. Something drastic's got to change where these people don't think that they can do the things they're doing. They have no respect for the law. They think they can go out there and pretty much disregard whatever lawful orders are being given. These things have got to stop. When we were growing up, if an officer told you to do something, you fucking did it.
Yeah.
You didn't sit there and argue with them or make sounds or blow a fucking horn or say, fuck you, fascist. You do that shit.
Well, I mean, the whole mindset of almost half the country that thinks it's okay if you're here legally. Nobody's illegal. I mean,
We're on stolen land. I love that.
yeah, you're on stolen land, all that bullshit.
Okay.
But that just, I do not understand how you hate your country so much.
Hang on a second. Let me get this straight. So their argument is we're on stolen land. So that would make every homeowner in America in possession of stolen property.
Well, they don't think it that far through because the whole statement's asinine. They just saying that you can't be illegal if everybody here is on stolen land because we stole it from the Native Americans. That's what they're saying.
Actually, no, that's not true. Remember, we bought Manhattan from the Indians for like a handful of beads.
Okay, I got that, but I'm just telling you their rationale. I'm not telling you what factually happened. I mean, theoretically, we got a whole shit ton of the country through the Louisiana Purchase, but it's irrelevant. Their argument is that the land was taken from the Native Americans, therefore we're all living on stolen land. There is no such thing as an illegal immigrant.
Therefore, we're all breaking the law 2 times because we're in possession of stolen property.
No, that's not how they're looking at it. That's what I'm saying. You're trying to apply logic where logic cannot be applied. So you're already creating problems.
Story of my life.
We all go through it. But, something's got to change. This behavior's been encouraged. And you didn't really see this. I want to say you didn't really see this until what was it they were doing? Something Wall Street.
Oh, that Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah, that's when you first started seeing this shit.
Occupied Wall Street.
Yeah. So you had all the green hairs and blue hairs down literally in the business district in New York, and trying to disrupt trading and all that good stuff.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about something like that happened, 30, 40, 50 years ago or something like that. So I was like, huh? I must have missed that. And didn't learn about that in history class. But all right, I know what you're talking about now.
Well, again, it's whatever idiot diatribe whichever hill they want to die on today. It changes week to week because it's either the Palestinians or it's the lesbians or it's the Israel or it's the carpet brigade getting shot or it's it's whatever's in the headlines is what they all flock to. And see, here's what I don't understand. We've got all this fucking intelligence apparatus here. Why are we not going after the motherfuckers who are paying all these protesters? Because they wouldn't be out there if they weren't getting paid.
True.
I asked that question, and I asked that chat person, and they said, I said, who is paying the protesters? and they said probably the person that's handing them the money. So I've already tried, man.
Well,
But then again, y'all got to remember, I'm doing good just to turn my computer on.
well, baby steps, brother, baby steps. So I was just glad I could get to my computer because my grandkids, somebody drove a bus through a clearance sale at Toys R Us, and it all got piled in this room. I have to parkour across the room to get to my computer.
Parkour.
I'm just saying. Now, on a more positive note, in the course of the next, I'm going to say 3 to 4 weeks, I'm going to be a great grandfather.
Nice.
Okay.
Very cool.
We'll see how
Call
that.
you GGT.
We'll see. I mean, this will be the first great grandchild. Hopefully, I won't have him more for a minute.
Right.
At least I'm hoping. But you never know.
This is true.
It doesn't bother me. That's cool. I would like to be able to get to know that generation before I keel over from whatever ailment I have. But I think I'm very fortunate to get that opportunity, I guess.
Absolutely.
Because I remember when their mother was born, I was there at the hospital. So to have seen that or been there for that, and now their mother giving birth to the great grandchild, that's it's kind of it makes you sit back for a minute, and just kind of take things in,
Right.
So seen a lot of shit. But that being said, I'm sorry, I digress. I just figured I'd throw something positive in there for a change. Now, granted, the great grandchild would probably not know anything, be able to relate to anything about this country because it will be so fucked by the time they get old enough to start paying attention. As much as I hate to say that, but it is what it is.
Right.
And I'm sure that several of my grandchildren will see the same thing. But we can always hope that they wake up. But I'm afraid that the majority of them, by the time they wake up, it's going to be too late, and they're going to be too lazy. Because this isn't the you're not talking about the greatest generation from World War One or the second, folks from World War II who had true patriotism, cared about their country. You're not talking about that level of dedication.
No.
And I think that's what's going to kill us. I mean, on one hand, you've got the waterheads of Minnesota trying to take over there. Then you've got all the camel jockeys that are trying to take over everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're trying to breed us out, run us out. I mean, and
See what they're doing over in Europe.
We're not worried about Europe. We're worried about.
No, you should be, because after they finish in Europe, guess where they're going to come?
They're already here.
No. That's just like, I don't know, the Ford Scouts they sent over.
I don't know, dude. They've managed to successfully fuck a few different places. Because you got to remember the waterheads of Minnesota, they're all Muslim. Now, granted, most of them can't write their name or spell, but they know how to steal money.
Yeah.
They know how to rob
the shit out of somebody.
That.
They understand that very well.
But we're watching our country kind of just disintegrate before us, and nobody's stepping up.
Yeah.
And it's a situation where I don't see how regular Americans can get something done.
Let me throw some fuel on this fire for you then. everyone knows that the price of gold's sky high right now, along with silver, right?
Yep.
And I don't know if y'all know this or not, but I think it's right. I can't remember how many tons of silver on paper, basically shorts, the short sale,
Yeah.
that all these American banks are holding, and it's not the little ones. It's basically every major bank here in the States, and it's somewhere, I want to say, trying to remember the exact number I heard earlier because I literally was like, holy shit. Because if they call it in, they ain't gonna have the cash to cover it.
They're not going to call it in.
Uh,
Have a good one, brother. I'll see you later.
All right, man.
Got bail.
Good night.
I mean, if they call it in, we're looking at a serious, and I mean, there's a lot of banks right now, even little ones that are on life support. Let's just say that.
Yeah, but
So
I don't think it'll get
I
called in.
wouldn't go buying. Oh, they're going to have to because the vaults are empty, and if they don't call it in, you know, it's either pay me my money or you take this silver. Well, there's no silver to take, so they got to pay them the money.
Well, I've always said for a long time that when we stopped backing our currency with hard
Gold.
gold, silver, hard assets, basically, that we shot ourselves on the foot. And the only country I know for sure that backs their money still is the UK. I think they do.
Well, China, South Africa, and
They back theirs with hard currency? Or
BRICS, the BRICS nation,
right.
that they're backing theirs with gold and silver. And see, China, I don't know if you know this either, they can only export, and
Right.
if you import silver to China to be, refined, guess what? You're not getting it back
Right.
because anything that goes in stays there. They're only
Yeah.
exporting 30 tons a year.
Yep.
And
This is all going to
when you,
affect the market.
when you, it went into effect January 1st. And and on some other assets back in October. I found that out. I mean, I see us, we could possibly be in a recession like 08, 09, 12 to 24 months.
Well, I hope we don't get into one, but we'll just have to see. I know I got a buddy of mine, his wife works in the finance sector, and they're all worried about this thing where Trump's trying to cap the interest rates because the lenders are saying they won't make any money. Well, okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. We've been getting raped by the creditors for years. And true, they would not make the profits, but the predatory lending that's been allowed to go on for so long, it's kind of gotten out of control.
Well, and what brought the housing market in, which flowed over to everything else in '08, was those subprime mortgages. And
Right.
the banks have started doing them again. They're just not calling them subprime mortgages. They're calling them something else.
Right.
So, that just goes to show you right there. They don't care. They just they're greedy and they don't give a damn.
No.
It's like a fat kid in the candy store. Keep the truck running, bringing him food in there, and he's never going to stop eating.
Well, they're trying to say that if they put a cap on it, it's going to make banks not be able to function. They're not going to give loans anymore, this, that, and other, and that you're going to see middle America get hit. Well, first off, the banks that's going to hurt the most are the predatory lenders, which is the people who lend to like the person who has filed bankruptcy 4 times, or the person who's been late on every bill they've ever owned, or had, if you got good credit, it shouldn't affect you in the same way because you already can go to a regular lender and get money. It might make people with shitty credit harder to get credit. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my argument's like this. I would hope that it doesn't cause a big recession or anything like that. If it was to happen, I don't think it's going to. But if it was, and it's just like when I'll give you an example, like when they bailed out all the car manufacturers. I always said they should have let them.
Ford never took the bailout money.
Okay, well, when they bailed out the car manufacturers, regardless, they should have let them flounder and go under, because what would have evolved would have been a better company with a better product with a better structure. And they bailed them out because it's too big to fail. Same thing with the fucking banks. If there's no consequence for them getting out there making these predatory practices and bad decisions, they're going to keep fucking doing it.
Well, it's like we talked about earlier. If the kid doesn't know right from wrong by about 6 or 7 years old, they're not ever going to learn it. And these banks are kind of like it. I mean, it's, they know what they're doing is wrong. They know, but they don't give a damn because they just want to increase their profits.
Yeah, it's all about shareholders. That's it.
They want, they're already making stupid amounts of profit to begin with. It's not like they're running on like a grocery store where it's 2% profit. It's not like that. No, they're doubling their money, tripling their money in some cases. Yep. I mean, like this 50-year mortgage, for example. I mean, no, they're going, banks, in my opinion, I think they'll be fine, but yes, it's going to hurt the people that, quite frankly, in my opinion, don't need to get a loan. No,
they don't. Because what's happened is it's made it where having good credit is not really necessary because there's so many ways to get around it. And then it hurts the people who have maintained the good credit because we have to be held to the standard because of these fucktards. It's just like with car insurance and everything else.
Or student loans.
Yeah, because you got so many people defaulting and tearing shit up and doing everything else. The people who are doing the right thing, we're the ones who have to face consequences of it. And that's not right. Now, again, I'm not trying to wish anybody lose their job or cause any hardship or whatever, but I believe that there's a lot of predatory lending that goes on, and I believe capping it's not necessarily a bad idea, but that opens up everything to a slippery slope. If the government steps in and starts dictating what a bank can or cannot do, then to me that seems like overreach.
Well, they've already been doing it to an extent for years.
I understand, but you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So now, not to cut you off, the other thing people need to take into consideration, this wouldn't be a forever thing. It'd be for a year. 1 year. So, I don't know what kind of effect it would have. I personally don't want to see it screw up people's retirements and things like that because you worked hard for what you've earned. But you just don't know what kind of effect that's going to have. If it's going to, my philosophy is if it's going to affect the people in power that have money, like the banks and things, they'll never vote it through because they're all the banks have got all the politicians in their pocket anyways. So they'll never pass it.
And you know what the funny thing about this is? Look up, just Google real quick, April 2025, who was the senator that wanted to do 10% lending from a bank kind of thing, or credit card?
Wasn't it Bernie Sanders?
Yes.
Yep. I think I saw something like that. So you got to be careful because I believe when the government starts stepping in it's fine to regulate things to a degree, but you got to be careful because it becomes no longer a republic. It starts becoming an autocracy or whatever, where I don't know what you call it, where the government's basically running things they shouldn't have any part in. It's too much overreach. They're already in too many facets of your life as it is. And you're going to go ahead and let them do that. I mean, it's just like digital currency and everything else. I don't even get started on that. But the government's trying to find more and more ways to embed themselves in your lives where they control every aspect of what you do. And that's a problem.
Why would you want them in your life like that?
Well, it's conditioning. It's just like when they pushed the Patriot Act. We'll make everybody safer after 9/11. So everybody got on board, and it did nothing. It didn't make anybody safer. It gave the government way too much fucking power to get in your personal shit.
Yeah, you gave up your basically your rights. Well, they can surveil you without a warrant at any time.
There you go.
And I mean, I'll admit, I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, I was against it." No, I was for the Patriot Act at first, but then after a friend of mine, about a year or two after, it had been in effect and all that, I think it was about 2005. A friend of mine, he looked at me and he said, "So what do you think about the Patriot Act?" I said, "I think it's a good thing." He said, "You hadn't read the bill, have you?" I said, "No." He said, "I just want you to think about one thing." I said, "What's that?" He said, "Did you notice how fast they wrote that bill and got it passed through?"
Mm-hmm.
And I sat there and I said, "Yeah, it was pretty quick. It was maybe, a month after 9/11?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "And it's over, like, 800 pages, if I'm not mistaken?"
Yep.
Apparently, he said, either we passed a bill in record time or that bill's been sitting there waiting for something like this, because any congressman that, presented it just committed political suicide because they knew the American people would never go for it. They needed something to, hey, we need the Patriot Act. Look what just happened. We don't want that to happen again. And there it was.
Yep. You're right.
And I just sat there and I was like, holy shit. Then I went and read it. And I was going, man, I can't believe, that just really blew me away. And after that, no, I don't support anything the government does until I actually read it.
Well, again, this is going to make us go back to what we were saying about the politicians. So,
I mean, do your research, people. That's what the message here is, because T said at the very beginning when he said, don't just take our word for it, challenges.
Yeah, do research. Look it up. Become engaged, educated.
I mean, and, there's a slew of charges that I can think of that girl was looking at, and, but none of them was worth her life. And she decided to make it worth her life. And I mean, it's a shame that it had to come to that, because it's going to change not just her family and loved ones' lives, but the officer that shot her. It's going to change his life and his family's life also.
Right.
So, all because she didn't want to go to jail or she wanted to harass somebody.
Well, but you got to also take consideration. This is the same heifer that was letting her significant other put cigarettes out on her kid. That says everything you need to know about her mental stability right there.
So, but yeah, it's just, you just kind of gotta go, wow. You know, at worst, she was looking at a misdemeanor, and that was worth her life. That was
Right.
what her life was worth to her, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think that is extremely um, stupid. And I think it's senseless. I mean, all she had to do is just, she could have sat there and screamed and cussed at them and everything while she handed them her driver's license. And if she'd have done that, there was nothing they could do. Then if they would have said, "Ma'am, can you step out of the vehicle?" and then they want to place her under arrest for disturbing the peace,
Yeah.
yeah, they could do that. But again, misdemeanor. And then she still wins because guess what? Traffic's blocked until you get a tow truck there.
Well, I mean, it's a shame that she died, but it was a FAFO. There's no other way around it. She, you know, you don't bring a car to a gunfight.
No,
I mean,
no, and don't expect your windshield to be bulletproof either.
well, last time I checked, Honda didn't offer that.
I didn't think that was in the standard model. The floor model maybe, but I
I
didn't
don't
think.
know. I think you have to purchase it and then have it re-outfitted elsewhere. I don't think Honda's going to offer that package to her and her Bubba Rex. I don't think they're going to be able to buy that. Although now, you saw that shit Bubba Rex was wearing, right?
Yeah,
Somebody broke down what all his clothes were.
yeah, it was like I think the cheapest thing she had on was like her ball cap, which was like $40.
Something
Everything else was like double or triple digits.
Yeah, I mean, the sweater was like $1,000 or something. It was some ungodly amount. It was like, really?
I mean, the jeans she had on, weren't they like 400 or 500?
I don't remember. The prices were ridiculous. If
I
that
mean,
was true, it makes you wonder, But again, you got to remember now, a lot of these protesters, these are not protesters. These are paid actors. Because
well, I
I'm
mean,
here to tell you, Americans are lazy. They're not going to go out in cold ass weather and ICE is wrong. They're Nazis. They're not gonna fucking do that. They're gonna be trying to get a latte at fucking Starbucks. Somebody's paying these motherfuckers to be there.
actually, um, I'll back up to 2008 when the housing crisis and all that was going on.
Yeah,
Me and a friend of mine were going to go in and together and buy some property at a sheriff's sale.
yeah.
And we didn't want the bank bidding against us because the bank knew us that was holding a lien on the property. And, we didn't want them driving the price up on us. So we decided we'd pay a college kid $100 to go up there, take maybe 45 minutes out of his day. Give him a $100 bill. Just go up there and bid on it. And then if we purchased it, we'd go up there and settle up on it, And, dude, do you know how hard it was to find somebody to do that?
I can imagine.
Now, my cousin, he was in college at the time, and he said, "Cuz," he said, "you went to college." He said, "You know what would get people up." I said, "Hell, $100 bill would have got me up there in a heartbeat." He said, "Offer him a case of beer instead." All right. So I offered a case of beer. Not the $100, just a case of beer, their choice. We had them lined up, begging us, hey, man, we'll do that. I was sitting there going, man, you could have pocketed $75 and had a case of beer.
True enough.
Real geniuses,
Well, I don't necessarily where all the smart people are all the time. So just remember that.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, that was interesting on that one. And
Yep.
You know, I never thought I'd ever see a day a college kid would turn down $100 bill just to go stand somewhere when something come up for all to just basically be on the cell phone and bid on it. That's it. You know, all of 20 to 45 minutes. You know, they'll probably never make that much in their life in the professional world unless they graduate from college and become a doctor or a lawyer. You know, and you know, I mean, just wow. I mean, it was like we had hell finding, you know, a kid. Well, I said, case of Bud Light, Miller Light, Coors Light. Man, my phone ringing off the hook. You know, hey, you still need somebody to go to that auction? Oh, I got somebody. Well, if that guy backs out, save my number. I'll do it. And I mean, I was going, all right. I'm sitting there thinking, I just talked to you yesterday and you told me you were busy. What changed?
All right. Well, I'm going to have to jump off here, guys, as much as I hate to. I got animals to take care of. Nothing like living the bachelor life.
Tell the Rugrats I said hi.
Well, we ain't talking about Rugrats. I got 2 German Shepherds. They're worse than Rugrats. They stink.
Oh, no, those are called hair missiles.
They're called something. But real fast, thanks everybody for being here and listening to us rant. We will be back when we're able to be back. I'm just going to put it that way because for whatever reason, life has been in the way for a while. Plus, we had Christmas and New Year's to deal with. But we will be back eventually. Just hang in there. As always, Vanguard, again, thank you for setting everything up. We really appreciate everything you do. Jay, it's always good to see you. Thumbs up, brother. And thanks, everyone, for being here, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Oh, hey, be sure to tell Jay his assignment next time old Tampon gives a speech.
You tell him. He's in the chat.
Hey, Jay, next time old Tampon Tim gives a speech, we need you to go up there and somehow or another we need you to kind of get behind him like you're, you know, somebody from city council. It's important. And when he starts basically not denying the $9 billion fraud or whatever, you need to start pointing at him and screaming at the top of your lungs, he's not one of us. He's a Republican. He's changed party. He's a Republican. And we can see what happens. Got it, Jay?
I think you got it. I know Vanguard caught it. All right, guys, I'm out. Y'all have a good evening, and we will see you later.
See y'all. Night.
Night, everyone.